Yeah, you head coach Jason Anderson. The team won the OVC tournament last year in an exciting run. This season picked fifth in the preseason. Paul, just coach, what general thoughts on this upcoming season and your team?
Like everybody, we're excited. We are ready to go. Weather's participated up here. We've been able to get outside and do some scrimmages that we maybe not have been able to do as much in the past, and so we've got that done. We're very healthy and very deep and ready to get on the field with somebody else.
Um, Talk about your roster. You've got some returner players, obviously. What is the breakdown sort of how many people you got back, how many new people you had to find to fill out the roster this year?
Yeah, well, last year we were to say we were experienced and older would be an understatement. That was a fantastic group to coach and to see those guys all develop and stick with EIU and represent the program and, as we say, bleed blue around here. And to see it all pay off for them with success last year. And so we got some very, very big pieces to replace. And so we had to bring in 26 newcomers, which is something that I was really excited about. You know, I still think college baseball is about developing. And so to bring in some transfers and some really talented freshmen that are very fun to work with each and every day is something that I was looking down the line to, and so they've been here and things have been going well. And again, I just want to see how it all plays out again.
I should have asked this before I asked that question. What were how can you put a cap to last year's tournament run? Like it was sort of unprecedented in the current bracket format, like with that group. And then the second part of that be after you talk about that, with 26 new people, how do you use that as motivation or can you like, here's what we did last year, we can do this again. How do you kind of use that together with this group?
Well, last year it just kind of came all together, especially at that part of the year. We look at, we are not afraid of obstacles. We're not afraid of challenges. And so we didn't look at the tournament as hey, we're going to play 6 games in 4 days. We got to win 5 of these by one run. It was, we got a chance to go out here and compete somebody for something that's meaningful and, go leave it on the field, play good baseball and see what happens. And so to see that happen was fantastic. But to also as a program, when we first got in here, this was a 13-win program. So for 8 consecutive years, we've improved our record. And so to get to 38 wins last year, we can look back on that and say, this is a process. There's developing here, stick with us, buy into a role, buy into each other, support your teammates. Let's all have confidence in each other. And that has been really fun and very rewarding as a coach. And with the 26 new guys, the talent is there. Like this could be as talented a team as I've ever had. Our whole thing is going to be, are we going to learn to play college baseball? Are we going to be able to do the small things? Are we going to be able to, to pitch and play defense, which is what, is my kind of thing. And offense, are we going to be able to put pressure on that pitcher and be able to win in a bunch of different ways?
Instead of waiting to the end, I'll ask you this then, since we just talked about the tournament. What was the marrying experience like? We're going to be back there next this year too. What was your impression of the venue? The second time we've been there, but this first of this new stretch of years in a row.
Well, I loved it. It's right down the road from us, and we were there so much last year. I felt like I could have. I felt like I could have put a tin up in out behind left field and just never have left, because as soon as I got back to the hotel, it was getting locked onto the next scenario or the next possible team or laundry or whatever, and we were back on the field within a couple hours.
We'll see about getting you a cot this year, but hopefully you won't need it.
I hope we don't have to do that again, but if we do, we're going to be ready for that.
If you had to say one thing, what's the most important thing to have your team to have success? And whether it's to win the championship or be in the mix, what is that one most critical thing?
Like I said earlier, with this group specific, I mean, everybody's going to say you got to stay healthy. Weather is a big thing for us. Is the wind going to be blowing 50-mile-an-hour all season? Those type of things are big factors. But with this group, and in a baseball sense, we got a ton of talent and a ton of depth. We just have to learn how to use it. We got to throw strikes. We got to keep the ball on the ground. We got to field it. We were third in the country in sacrifice bunts last year. That is big for us with this group, is just learning how to play baseball with some guys that have came from a travel ball era of, go out and showcase and showcase and showcase. We've got to showcase talent. We just got to go out and play good baseball.
Last year's team won 26 road games, and I know you'd rather have played more home games, but it worked out that you played tough games and won. What made it so successful last year when you went on the road and took care of business most of the time?
Yeah, I think over the last 2 years we've won over 70 games. I think we've played a total of 18 home games for reasons that are just out of our control and kind of out of nowhere. But it was the mentality. It's something that we hammer into our guys every day of, we'll go anywhere, play anybody at any time. We want somebody to doubt us. We want the other team to throw a bat flip on us. That'll get us going. Those type of things, that mentality of just playing hard and believing in yourself and doing it the right way. That's what that group had last year. That if we can get some of that to bleed into this group, we'll be in good shape as well.
And then this year's schedule, just some thoughts on that non-conference. I mean, you're going to go to Florida the first weekend, obviously, but what were some of the ways that you like putting this schedule together on some of those opponents you're going to play?
Yeah, we're trying to get to the warm weather. We're going to spend a ton of time on the bus with each other, which is what I really enjoy early. Getting to know each other, getting on the road, getting to that sunshine. Our big Power Five series was going to be in our bye week, and then that got taken away with the addition of Western Illinois, and so we feel like we got a pretty good schedule that's going to prepare us for the season well.
What are your opinions then of the new 10-look OVC? Well, it's sort of the league the last 2 years, and now you added 3 teams, you added 1 team. Just your general thoughts on how you see the league.
Well, what I've noticed in this league since I've been here, every year's different. Every year's different. It all boils down to recruiting and development. You got to be really good at one of those. The more these institutions can support these coaches and invest in their facilities and their coaching staffs and just the general in their people, the more success there's going to be. With this year, man, it feels like compared to last year, there's a lot of experience coming back with some of these programs. Some of the teams that were ranked high, they just got a lot of guys coming back, whether that's, seniors, 50 years, 60 years. To see them coming back to programs, that's exciting in the transfer portal realm. But I think that's what you're going to have to do to have success now.
You asked, or you said every year is a little bit different. Some years I would have always said we're the offensive Valley Conference. You talked about sacrifice bunts. We had the nation's ERA leader last year in Little Rock. And the end of this year may be different. How have you seen that change? Do you have an outlook? Do you think this might be more of a pitching year, more of a hitting year, or no idea?
I have no idea. I think 5 or 6 years ago, we were third in the country in home runs. And so to me, I just try to work with the personnel that I got to kind of fall into our philosophy. But I think offensively, it's going to be really good this year. I think you're going to have pitching to really compete this year because there's a lot of experienced bats coming back, guys that, are not just going to be overmatched. And, that's what I'm interested to see is just kind of how the pitching holds up in the league this year and how much depth people are going to have because teams are going to be able to swing it.
Well, Coach, appreciate your time this morning. Best of luck, and best of luck on those long road trips to start the year.
Thanks so much, Kyle. Good luck, everyone.